TOEFL Integrated Writing Task. Writing based on reading and listening. For this task, you'll read a passage about an academic topic. A clock at the top right of your screen will tell you how much time you have to read. You should take notes on the passage while you read. The passage will then be removed, and you will listen to a lecture on the same topic. As you listen, you should also take notes. You will be able to see the reading passage again when it is time for you to write. You may use your notes to help you answer the question. You will then be asked to write a response that asks you about the relationship between the lecture to which you just listened and the reading passage. Using information from the reading passage and the lecture, answer the question as completely as possible. Please note that this question does not ask you for your personal opinion. Your response will be judged on the quality of your writing and on the completeness and accuracy of the content. The reading passage no doubt explains the scientific aspects of memory flawlessly. However, after defining memory, the author makes 3 incorrect assumptions about memory. First of all, in our minds we can see, hear, or feel images of things we are recalling, so it's natural to think that we remember things as images, but we don't. The images are reconstructed from facts we memorize, rather like a computer generates 2-dimensional images from a 3-dimensional model expressing facts mathematically. If you've seen Toy Story, Shrek, or any of those computer-animated films, you are seeing images generated from a factual model. There have been some clever experiments to demonstrate this, but to save time, consider this question. If you recall something you have seen, can you imagine it from an angle you did not actually see it from originally? If your mind had created a memory that was a literal recording of the original images you witnessed, then your memory would be like a videotape, and you would not be able to imagine something you had not seen. But you can. Second of all, the powerful myth that the best memory is the visual memory probably comes from 2 sources. Firstly, a lot of advice on memory improvement is based on using images that combine 2 ideas into one. Secondly, experiments by Ralph Haber and colleagues in the late 1960s seemed to show that human visual memory was amazingly capable. When I first tried memorizing a list of unrelated words by linking them using visual images, it worked brilliantly straight away. I, like most people, was blown away by this incredible experience and for a while tried to find ways to make use of it in my studies. The experience is so powerful, it is easy to think that the visual aspect of the linking is important, but it seems it is not. If you make up a sentence that links the 2 words into one idea, that is just as effective. Imagery is not the active ingredient. Finally, nearly every website on the internet that gives advice on memory gives prominence to mnemonics based on linking things with visual images. The majority say that bizarre images are better than mundane ones. Linking information using made-up connections rather than real reasons should be a last resort, not your main memory technique. It risks confusing your understanding with a lot of alien and irrelevant associations. Use it only with totally meaningless, patternless material, and that is very hard to find. Bear in mind that the initial effectiveness of association using bizarre images is not a reliable guide to later effectiveness. Once you've been using wacky images for a while, the bizarre starts to become commonplace. It all becomes a jumble, and now you have no way to use logic to distinguish right from wrong. Read the question below. Use the remaining time indicated to plan and write your response. Your response will be judged on the quality of your writing, as well as how well your response presents the points in the lecture and the relationship to the reading passage. Typically, an effective response consists of 150 to 225 words. How does the information in the lecture cast doubt on the information in the reading passage? Pause the video to begin writing your response now.